Hello, gorgeous Gemini. How you going? This is your shadow reading for March. Delayed, true. I have my own shadows to deal with, and this month, this is why it's delayed. Anywho, if you're returning, welcome back. Lovely to have you. I'm so glad. And if you're new to the channel, welcome in. We're pretty relaxed here. Everybody's really nice. So, welcome. If you like what I share with you, please feel free to like, share and subscribe, because my intention is to help as many people as possible. So, what have we got for Gemini this month? It's next door. We have a lot of rain going on in Australia at the moment, and I have two very chilly dogs on my bed, and when the third one barks, they all tend to get involved. Morgan Le Fay, the Witch of Ages, atonement, growth, and deceit. Interesting. What are we working at this month? Definitely growing. Let's see. The imagery in this month so far has been speaking louder than the card's titles. So it shall be interesting to see. Let's see, Geminis, my Geminis. At the bottom of the deck, we've got the Hanged Man. Seeing things from a different perspective, which is in itself a form of growth. As usual, my loves, I will lay these out and then we will run through the story. So we've got the Empress, Ace of Wands, and the Star, Fool, lots of Mages, Eight of Wands, Eight of Swords, Chariot, Five of Pentacles, Ten of Pentacles, Justice, and the Ace of Pentacles. Really interesting, and this is definitely a growth reading. Atonement is making amends for things that we've done that haven't been so high vibration. And doing that is a form of growth in itself, because you're starting to recognise the part you played, rather than it all being somebody else's fault. You recognise how you could have handled things differently or more maturely. What are you doing? Come on, up here. Up here. Up. Forgive me while we just sit this way for a little while. Hop up. Good boy. There we go. See? It takes a lot of courage, and it takes a lot of clarity to see not only where you've been deceiving others, but where you've been could be deceiving yourself. And that's why the Hanged Man comes in, because you get to see things from a different point of view, from a different perspective. It's also the Enlightenment card, which is really interesting. Things have been coming through really fast. Up until now, you've seen yourself as the mother, a good person, the one who provides, the one who is generous and nurturing and loving and giving. Every card, every person has a flip side. So how you're seeing yourself may not be how others are seeing you. Notice that there's a book down the bottom. So you're writing your own story. This is what we all do, my love. We all see ourselves a certain way, and we all see other people a certain way. They may see us differently. Currently, with this recent energy of the Eight of Wands, just messages coming in fast, you may have been downloading an awful lot of awareness, aha moments. You're still at the moment not prepared to see them. You're not prepared to see how you have created your own environment, how you can step out of the environment you've created and create a new one. You're not prepared to look at that just yet. That's coming up very soon. The foundation is the Fool, and this is very, this is the beginning. This is the beginning of the awareness. You are stepping into something new. You don't know what it is, and even though in your conscious mind you don't want to, you just don't want to see any other way than how you've seen it, because that makes you feel right. With this in your subconscious, you know that you're not always right, and that sometimes you may not mean to, but you do hurt people. You're in the Eight of Wands energy, which is very creative, imaginative, action-orientated. So everything that your subconscious is telling you, and you are fighting very hard not to see, not to acknowledge. The opportunity or the challenge here is to allow it. This is how we heal. We allow things to come to us. And we may not see them as a gift, but they are a gift. And your ultimate wish may be to get on better with someone, or to have a better relationship with someone. And up until now, you've thought that they had to be better because you were right and they were wrong. You knew best and they haven't known best. But what you're not seeing is that the healing part may come and will come when you acknowledge your side as well, when you acknowledge your role, when you acknowledge the part you played in it as well. And sometimes fact a lot of the time, the hardest thing for us to do in the shadow work is to acknowledge our own poor behaviour or our own the neglect that we have shown other people. It's quite hard to face that we need to. Coming up is the Chariot. This is a big reading. There is lots and lots of major. So this is a life turning. And because this is so hard work, this is a big moment. It is a big thing to work on and a very important thing to work on. It will have the effect of changing your life for the better if you do it. No judgment here. I have quite often buried my head in the sand and not wanted to see what I needed to see. So each to their own. But this is what this month's about. You're going to be moving forward in this process. What you're not aware of is how you've left people out in the cold. And not only that, but how you've been left out in the cold. By needing to be right. Not even by needing to be right. Sometimes we play the victim. And so we put ourselves out in the cold. But other times when we, have to be the boss, have to be in control of the situation and have to be the right one, then we leave everybody, we leave the people out in the cold. And so what we've got inside might be a sense of security. It's not, because our real security feels completely abandoned. What you need to know and what the advice here is the Ten of Pentacles. Now, if you see this, the tree in the last one, in the last card, compared to the tree in this card, Pentacles aren't stashed in there with fear. They're up here and they've grown for everybody to share. It's like fruit that isn't perfect. Some fruit on a tree isn't perfect, but others are. And some fruit looks really good on the outside and isn't on the inside. So it's basically saying nobody's perfect, including you. And that depending on how you treat people and even nature, depends on what you grow. Your hopes and fears is the Justice card now. This is Libra, but I think two signs that are very similar is Libra and Gemini, because they're both dual sides. Your hope is that you will get justice and people will see things from your point of view, but that you'll also have a better relationship with whoever this is. It could be a child, it could be a colleague, it could be a parent, it could be a partner, it doesn't matter. And that's what you hope. You hope this will get more balanced. Your fear is that your role will be seen and you will have to face the justice of that. You will have to own up to your part, and to regain the balance, you will have to take your punishment. It isn't punishment. We see it as punishment, but in actual fact, when we recognise our role and our part, we actually free ourselves. Once we get past that the pain of seeing what we've done and making amends for that, we recognise that we are just human and we don't have to be right all the time, and our way doesn't always have to be the right way, and there is compromise. It doesn't have to be black and white, one or the other. The outcome of this is the Ace of Pentacles, which is quite beautiful. It's a brand new start. It's a brand new, back to basics, very foundational start of. That's how things heal. You know, they get a bit dodgy. It's like winter turning into spring. Things can seem unfixable, and quite often at the end of winter, I feel like it's never ever going to get better. It's never going to end. But then some things, when light heat is shone on things, the truth that was hidden underneath the snow comes through, and spring hits. It isn't what you think it will be. When you take your blindfold off and have a compassionate look at your role in things, have a very gentle, compassionate look at how you could have done better, the mistakes you've made, and the effect it could have had on people. And then you go about atoning for that, apologising for that, and recognising the role you played to others. They will appreciate that so much. You might not see it, but it will. It will have an unthawing, it will have a very thawing effect on somebody else. And then you get the chance to rebuild. I just saw, ice around somebody else's heart, and from pain. And when that happens, forgiveness and somebody coming in and saying, I'm sorry, can thaw that. So for you this month, my love, look at your role and see how you can regrow. All right, I hope this helps. I love to you all, and I'll talk to you all soon.